Welcome to episode 17 of Horizon Podcast, a podcast empowering women to heal, overcome trauma, embrace change, and through our community, we strive to inspire women to create a future where they lead with love, confidence, courage, helping break and reach new horizons. Welcome, everybody. We are in episode 17. I hope you guys tuned in for episode 16 with my mom. That was very special to me, and you guys got to see a little bit of where I get who I am. You guys got to see a little bit of why I am the way I am, just by my mother. But if you haven't watched it, go back, watch it. It's Spanish. So, but anyways, so on today's topic, I want to talk about something that I've been thinking about, because I feel that there is definitely a difference. I want to talk about baby mothers, which I consider myself a baby mother, and baby mamas. What do you guys think of when you think baby mamas, right? So I had to kind of look it up, and let me tell you, this is what, let me tell you the difference, okay? So the difference between a baby mama is basically biologically tied to a child, but emotionally or physically absent. That is what I consider a baby mama. Baby mother is someone raising, sacrificing, loving, and mothering in the truest sense, even when it's hard, even when she's alone. That is a baby mother. That is what I consider the difference between baby mama and baby mothers. Okay. I don't think it's the same thing. To me, I find it disrespectful when I'm called a baby mama, because I'm very present in my child's life. I am their only parent. So right, as that's in their life, present and showing up every day. So I am a baby mother. Unfortunately, I am somebody's baby mother. Yes. But I show up for my children every day, through it all. My good days, my bad days, my sick days, my every day. I make sure that I'm there.
What is the difference between having a child and being a mother?
Okay, so what is the difference between having a child and being a mother? Having a child, it's just that the person is giving birth to the child. They don't have any other involvement besides that. They just gave birth and said, welcome to the world, and that was it. Being a mother comes with many more responsibilities. We are there for absolutely everything, whether we're sick, whether we're tired, whether we are overwhelmed with emotions, whether we have a million things running through our lives that are going on. A mother shows up regardless of how she's feeling, or what she's going through, and continues to be there for the child emotionally, physically, all around. That is the difference between having a child and being a mother. And if you have more to add, tell me, let me know in the comments. What's the difference between someone that just gave birth versus a mother? Okay. Just in case I missed, because I know I missed a lot of mother. It's indefinite definitions for that, honestly.
Do you think some women use the title mom, but don't show up in their child's life?
Okay. Do I think that some women use the title mother, but don't show up for the child's? Yes. I believe that there's women out there that believe because they gave birth to a child. I think that they see them more of I want to say like a possession, or like an object. Yeah. They don't, and it's that mentality of, it kind of reflects to me when I think of that children are seen, not heard. So they're just there. And I personally, no, I'm sorry. You can't call yourself a mother just because you gave birth. A mother, there's many things that come with that title. And just because you gave birth to someone or many children doesn't mean that you're a mother. I'm sorry. That just because you have I think having children, there's a lot of women out there that cannot have children, right? And it's a gift. And I think women need to see that just because you go and have children doesn't make you a mother. You have to show up. And there's a lot that comes with that. And the reason why I wanted to make this episode is because I see, and it's May, so it's Mother's Day month. I want to say Mother's Month. I mean, it should be every day, but I think that a lot more women need to be held responsible, and they need to hold themselves responsible for creating children without mothers, because you just having a child doesn't make you a mother. I'm sorry, no. And you being there physically but not emotionally, that also can cause damage to the child depending on how you're there physically, right? So that's what I think.
What are baby mamas who aren't mothers usually like?
What are baby mamas that are not mothers usually like? Ooh, okay. They're emotionally unavailable. Sometimes they're not even physically available, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
They put their partners first, I would say, or others before their child.
Or their life.
Or their life before their child.
First.
Very selfish. I want to say they're selfish. I want to say that they have victim mentalities because they use their life decisions that they have made, and what has came with that. They use that as an excuse to not be mothers. Multiple baby daddies, because to me, I see it as if you didn't learn the first time or second time with your baby daddy, why are you doing a third and a fourth? At that point, you're just bringing broken children into this earth that are going to be broken adults. So I think that baby mamas need to be held accountable for how their decisions in life, because they're only creating children that are going to grow up to not be healthy adults. To be honest, they're growing up in chaos, So, and that's where mommy issues come in. And I think that yes, there is mommy issues and there's daddy issues, but I think that women are meant to be nurturers, and that's our place. So I don't want to say that we're more responsible, but we kind of are.
Is being present enough, or does being a mother require more than that?
It requires more. Your physical presence isn't the only thing that makes you a mother. I'm sorry. You can be present and the child could be in the next room, and they could be lacking absolutely everything because you're not taking care of them. So no, I don't think that just being present defines you as a mother. I think that you need to really, you need to be there for the child's needs, from school to emotional to safety to health to absolutely everything that maybe you didn't have. You need to provide that for or more, because at the end of the day, God blessed you with that child. And I like to see it as you were chosen to be that child's guardian, right? Or caregiver. And you should be able to love them absolutely in every way. And that's pouring into them physically, emotionally, financially. And let's clear that up. Just because you're there, you're physically there and you're providing does not mean either that you aren't lacking in other places. I think that a lot of women think, well, I'm providing a roof over your head and I'm feeding you and I'm doing what I should be doing. Okay, duh. I'm sorry, but yeah, that child did not ask you to have him or her. So you should be responsible. That's a given. I'm sorry, but that's a given. No one should ever tell a child that, because honestly, that's kind of traumatic. Well, that's all you have to give. You don't have anything else. There's no other substance as a mother that you can provide for that child besides I provided a roof over your head and I provided you with food. That's bare minimum. I'm sorry. So yeah, that's what I think.
How much quality time do you think mothers just spend with their kids?
How much quality time? That's a tough one. Okay, so I think it depends, right? Um, I'm gonna put myself in that situation as a single mom, and I have businesses that I'm running as well. It's hard for me. So every single time, any time that I have, whether that's while I'm cooking, I make sure that my children are involved if they want to be involved. Like my little one, that's our thing. Um, Chores, I try to spend as much time with them as I possibly can because I have a busy schedule, right? Or if your children have activities, that's something as well. So I think it depends on your life and your lifestyle. If you're a mother with a partner, and you're a stay-at-home wife, you have more time, right? You can do pickups, you can do things like that. If you are a mother who has to work multiple jobs, I know it's hard, right? But I think it's as long as your child sees that you're trying and not just giving them the basic needs, which is what you should be giving them, because like I said, they didn't ask to come here, and you should not hold them accountable for that. You should hold yourself accountable for that. So that's what I think, right? It just depends.
Do we excuse toxic behavior from mothers too easily because they gave birth?
Do we excuse toxic behaviors from mothers because they gave birth? We do excuse toxic behavior from mothers because they gave birth. I think it depends on the mother, but I do believe that certain mothers, not mothers, certain women use their traumas and their life circumstances, which can be toxic, as an excuse for them to be mothers. Yes, I believe that, because they can sit here and say, well, your dad doesn't want to be in the picture. That's not my fault. You're using an excuse for you to not show up and be what the father would have done. I believe that women use their life circumstances to excuse their toxic behaviors as mothers. That's what I believe.
Who's holding mothers accountable when they check out, but expect praise for being there sometimes? Do you think anyone's holding them accountable? Realistically? Or is that a nice thought to have? That's a nice
thought to have.
Does that make sense?
I think it's a nice thought to have. I don't think anyone can hold a mother accountable if she's not holding herself accountable. At that point, if someone else is keeping accountability for her, then she's not a fit mother.
Can a mother be emotionally absent even if she's physically there?
A mother can be emotionally absent even if she's physically there. I think this kind of goes back to the previous question that we had. And like I stated earlier, just because you're physically there doesn't mean that you're actually there. And I think it kind of goes back into just, even if it's just motherhood, right? In a parent household, you can have mom and dad, and you still have trauma issues as you grow older. So it doesn't matter if the parents are single or just a mother or both. Just because they're physically there and they're doing the basic needs that they should be doing does not mean that they are actually being a involved parent. I think that there's a lot of factors behind an involved parent and someone that it's actually a mother and a father. Because I also believe that baby daddies are just baby daddies, and there's a difference between baby fathers. So just because you're physically there and you're maybe financially providing does not mean that you're a mother or you're a father. It just means that you're there. And sometimes that can actually even be more traumatic for the child because you're there and you're not providing any substance at all to their growth.
I've noticed that a lot of society or people like to look down upon single mothers, where I feel like what we should look down upon is bad mothers. Because just because you're a single mother doesn't mean you're a bad mother. And I think I've seen that a lot online where like, girl, you're a single mom. Like, who are you to say anything? Or who are you to speak? Who are you to have an opinion?
I love that question, Marlo.
But it's left out completely whether or not you're a good mother or not. Because I think that's the important part. Whether you're
sure.
single or not,
For sure.
that is important. Whether you are a good mother or not. Not just because, hey, me and my partner didn't work out, I'm a fuck up. Nah, that didn't work out, but I can still be. You can't look down upon me just because I'm a single. Does that make sense?
I love that.
Yeah. So
I love that.
Do you have thoughts on that?
I have a lot of thoughts on that. I wanted to do a whole episode on that. Let me
Oh,
tell
okay.
you that. No. We're gonna just kind of cover it,
Okay,
but I want to hit that deep in depth.
Yeah, that's a good. I'm telling you because I see that a lot.
I have personal. I've gotten into it.
I've seen.
You've seen it. You've seen it. And society is so fucked up nowadays with their perspective on single moms. Mm-hmm. I have a lot of thoughts on the way that society perceives single moms. There's a difference between a bad mom and a single mother. Okay. And I get this on my comments. I get this on just in general. Right. And I think a lot of single moms get that too. And this is a very personal topic for me. Okay. And I'll tell you why. Because yes, I have had to sit there and think about it. I am a single mother because I was in a relationship that was unhealthy and didn't work out. And I was with that person for 13 years. Okay. My children have the same father, and not bashing women with more than 2 baby daddies. I'll be honest, because at that point you're making mistakes and you're repeating the cycle and it's not okay. But what I'm saying is, when people think of single mothers, I don't think they're really thinking if they're a good mother or a bad mother. They're just labeling them as a single mother and automatically we're bad moms. I'm sorry, but no. I am a single mother because of life circumstances. Me and my ex-partner did not work out. And now I am out here doing the job of what two parents should be doing on my own. And the fact that you're sitting here thinking that you can bash me by saying, well, you're a single mom, or I saw there's this thing going around where I guess I was reading, there's podcasts that I have seen and comments that I have seen on social media where we are less than because we have children. And I beyond disagree with that, because I gave birth, which is what my right as a woman is. I am considered less than or a bad mom, right? Because I am single with kids. How does that? I'm sorry, but why? Why is that? You don't know my circumstances. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know what I go through on the daily. I am raising 2 young kids by myself. And shout out to all the women doing this. And it's not an easy job. So for you to sit here and say that single moms, or the way that you perceive single moms, is like a bad thing, that's ignorance at its finest. That is ignorance at its finest. I am doing the job of 2 parents, like I stated earlier. I am providing not only financially, but emotionally. I am healing as I'm doing that from my own traumas. And I am showing up in the best way that I can possibly for my children every single day. And no one could probably walk in my shoes. So how dare you come at me and say that I am less than, or I don't deserve such a thing, or experience or partner or whatever, because I am a single mother. I'm sorry, but that is pure ignorance and stupidity. And go educate yourself. Go educate yourself, please.
Does society give more grace to fathers who do the bare minimum than mothers who do the most?
Society does give grace to the fathers that do the bare minimum, as opposed to us mothers that show up on the daily. And I'll tell you why. It's because that's where you're a mom, you're a nurturer. That's where it comes in. That's your responsibility. That's what you should be doing. But I'm sorry, that is not true. A child is created by a man and a woman, and we are just as responsible. And the father showing up and doing the bare minimum on the weekends or every other weekend or once a month does not mean that he should be praised for that. Why aren't we praised? We are looked at as, what I just said before, single moms who aren't valued enough because we're single moms.
So do you think single fathers and single mothers are looked at differently?
Single mothers and single fathers are not put in the same category. No, I think that single fathers are being praised because they're single fathers and they're doing their responsibility as single mothers do on the daily. And they get more praise for it as opposed to, well, isn't that what you're supposed to do as a mother?
Yeah.
And I think that's BS. I think that society needs to really look at both roles and what makes us less than. One has a female part and the other one has a male part. But at the end of the day, we're in 2025 where women are building empires. We're doing what the man should be doing. We're actually, you know what? We do not need a man. We want a man because we're able to provide absolutely everything for ourselves. So why is it that single fathers are being praised or weekend dads are being praised for doing what they should be doing? Because we both created this child, but because we were the nurturers and we were given the gift of being mothers, that's our responsibility. That's how society sees it.
Yeah. It's as much their responsibility as it is yours.
It's as much their responsibility as it is mine. Correct. Women's. So that's my thought on that. And let me know what you think. I know that this is gonna spark some conversation. And I'm open for conversation. Let's talk about it. To all my single moms, to all my baby mothers. No, there's a difference between baby mamas and baby mothers. And to all my baby mamas, I'm sorry, but do better. Do better. Stop living in your trauma. Stop living in your excuses. Stop living in your lifestyle. Stop being selfish. How about that? Stop being selfish, because the moment that you have a child is a moment that it's no longer about you. You decided to open up your legs and give birth to this beautiful child. They should not be responsible for your life decisions. So take accountability. Show up as your best self. Don't make the same mistakes. Heal yourself. Work on yourself. Seek God before anything. Don't do drugs. Don't do alcohol. Don't try to numb yourself. Instead, try to progress and give that child a better life than you had. Thank you for watching Horizon Podcast. Thank you for the subscriptions. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the like. I appreciate every single one of you. We'll catch you on episode 18. Goodbye, guys.